What the heck? Why are all of these perfectly good foods wrapped up and thrown away? I'm not gonna waste any of this food. So today, I'm taking on one of the craziest challenges ever. For the next 24 hours, I can only eat red-colored foods. But that means no red sauce, no ketchup, no nothing. It's gonna be so hard, but I think I can do it. Let's see if I can survive. First, I've gotta go shopping! So I grabbed my reusable bags and headed off to the store. Gotta grab all the red food I can find. Let's go. So, first off, I grabbed a few apples. They were a really good price. I also got some massive strawberries. These were so plump and juicy, they just looked amazing. Then I grabbed a huge pack of tomatoes. These were so fresh. They almost looked like they had been picked that same day. And then I thought, why not get some red peppers? They're actually a super healthy snack. And I couldn't forget about the red onions. They have this really nice crunch and a strong bite to them. I mean, look at this thing. That's huge. I bet that lasts me a couple days. Oh, and how could I forget about watermelon? You know, gotta stay hydrated. I got a nice block of watermelon. I also got some watermelon slices, too. Then I saw these red grapes. They looked pretty tasty. So I grabbed those. And then I started seeing red candies, and I couldn't resist. I even found these red popsicles. I don't think I've seen those before. And yes, we're gonna try those later. Finally, I grabbed a sweet red apple to finish off my haul. And let me tell you, this was a ton of food. Let's take a look at everything I got. Wow, this is so much food. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna finish all of this in 24 hours. But seriously, look at this. It's actually kind of crazy. We got red bell peppers, red onions, red grapes, watermelon, watermelon slices, red apples, strawberries, tomato, 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 and finally, red popsicles. Let's see what else we can find. Ew, red gummy worms. These were so cool. And then I saw red gum. How crazy is that? And then I even found red mustard. Like, who knew there was such a thing? And then we have red milkshakes. Look at that. So yummy. And then finally, the last item that stood out was red velvet cake. That sounded so delicious. I couldn't say no. And then, of course, I found so many more things when I got home. I have red carrots, red lettuce, red beets, cherry tomatoes, beef jerky, and even red beans. I mean, look at this. It's so much food. I bet it lasts me a lot longer than 24 hours. Now it's time for my first meal of the day. So I decided to start off slow. I peeled and sliced an apple and dipped it in some strawberry jam. It tasted so sweet and delicious. Next, I grabbed a handful of strawberries and ate them whole. These were very sweet, but I needed something a little more filling. So I grabbed some tomatoes and made myself a nice caprese salad. The tomatoes were really fresh, so they tasted amazing. And I even added some basil leaves for extra flavor. And finally, I poured myself a glass of red juice. Well, that was a great first meal. It's been a few hours, and honestly, I feel great. It's kind of funny how normal everything feels. I mean, I literally just finished eating a big bowl of tomatoes. And yeah, that's normal for me. I'm actually still hungry. So I went to my fridge and grabbed some watermelon. You know, sometimes when you're sick, it's always the best remedy to drink some cold water. And wow, this was so refreshing. I think I'm gonna need more than that though. So I grabbed some watermelon slices, put them in a blender with some ice, and then poured it into a cup. I didn't think it would be so hard, but I'm actually getting thirsty again. So I grabbed some grapes, split them in half, and made myself some grape juice. This was so delicious. It kind of felt like drinking wine. I wish I was old enough. Anyways, I felt like eating something a bit more savory, so I chopped up a red bell pepper and dipped it in some hummus. Honestly, I was expecting it to be crunchy and spicy, but it wasn't either. I mean, it was kind of bland. And then I tried the red onion. It wasn't really that great either. Well, I guess it's time for another snack. I went back to the store and grabbed some beef jerky. That should hold me over for a while. It's been a while since I've eaten, so I think it's dinner time. I bought some red velvet cake. I couldn't resist. I mean, who doesn't love red velvet cake? So I cut myself a nice slice, topped it with some whipped cream, and ate it whole. I was actually so surprised when I bit into it. It wasn't really that red. It almost looked white. Next, I opened up my package of gummy worms. I had a blast when I was a kid. I remember eating these all the time. I ate so many. And then I tried the red gum. That was a mistake. It was so bad. So then I moved on to something better. I made myself a plate of spaghetti. I haven't eaten pasta in forever, so this was really comforting. And then I made myself a side salad to balance it out. All right, this is it. My final meal of the 24-hour challenge. I have some red curry. This is probably the most intense food I'll eat the entire day. All right, let's do this. I ate it all, and it was so delicious. Well, I officially completed the 24-hour red food challenge. I did it. It's been a wild ride. I honestly didn't think I'd make it, but I did. 24 hours of only red food. That's insane. Eating only red foods was harder than I thought it would be, but it was definitely worth it. Some of the foods were honestly disgusting, but I'm glad I pushed through it, and now I can officially say I've done it. I survived eating only red foods for 24 hours. This was the craziest challenge I've done yet. I have never restricted my diet this much. I normally eat whatever I want whenever I want, but doing this was a great experience. I learned that there are so many different types of red foods out there that I've never tried before, like red velvet cake. That stuff was delicious. But there was also some red foods that I will never touch again, like red gum. What the heck was that? But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, smash that like button and subscribe for more content.